All right, Mr. Sam, what are we in today?
We are in a Ford Ranger
Yeah,
Wildtrak.
indeed. Wildtrak, where does it stand in the entire lineup of Rangers?
So it's based on the regular Ranger,
Okay.
the all new looking Ranger,
Okay, new
but
shape
it's
and
the
everything.
top spec
Okay,
within the top spec of the regular Ranger.
Correct.
Then you go to the Mac Daddy that
Yes.
we had before.
the Raptor.
Ranger. Raptor.
Okay, fair enough. So, if you haven't already, definitely go check out that Raptor video because we will be referencing a few things that we noticed in the car and we'll be comparing the two. So, definitely go check that video out. All right, so since we're on the way to kind of go check out the car a bit off-road and just see what the engine's like and stuff, in the meantime, let's talk about the interior for a bit because I definitely noticed the quote-unquote step down
Okay.
in the car. I noticed it instantly as soon as I...
Down into okay.
Right?
I want to hear more.
Now, I don't want to make this a comparison to the Raptor because I don't believe that these two cars are actually a comparison. Very different audiences, but suddenly the materials changed and it's a bit harder in certain spots. You've got the hard plastic, very visible comparatively, and obviously everything's very black and gray except for this little stitching around the car.
Yeah.
Everything's very black and gray, whereas that had like tones of that red orange thing happening and all that stuff. So from that perspective, I had a bit of an awe moment, but I don't actually there's nothing wrong with this one. It's just that the Raptor is stuck in my head a bit.
So if you have a budget,
Yes.
don't go look at the Raptor.
Exactly.
Just go straight to Ranger, go to Wildtrak, and leave.
Right. Perfect.
Right.
Now, then the question comes in, and I've not driven the new version of the base model. I've not driven the new version.
Yeah.
I've driven the previous one. The conversation then kind of comes down to what you're getting in this versus what you don't get, what you miss out on the basic one. And as far as the interior goes, you lose out on the leather seats.
Okay.
Okay, you lose out on the large vertical display.
Which is fantastic.
Right? As always, vertical displays for the win. Whoa, some of the wheelies and stuff.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But you lose out on all those things. Your AC vents stay the same. Your digital cluster stays the same.
Okay.
I think you lose out a few controls on the steering wheel, right?
Okay.
But on the overall, you're literally paying all that extra money for the interior. That's what you're paying for.
Okay.
Because their base version is also sort of their commercial version, where if you, let's say, had a business where you did a lot of lugging around and you wanted a rough and tumble car and didn't really care about the interior, that's the car you look at.
I think from the exterior, I'm probably wrong, but I would say that the rims, it's not going to have 18-inch rims with the all-terrain tires, and you've also got that, it's purely aesthetic hoop on the bedline.
And it's only in white, always.
The best color?
The best color. My wife would heavily disagree with you. She has literally made me swear that I will never ever buy a white car. But
I only own white cars.
I never realized that.
Yes.
You do. All your cars are white.
I love white.
Damn. You have the 86 is white. The Patrol is white.
And Phase is also.
Oh wow.
It's wrapped, but it's white.
Oh no way. That's hilarious. Fair enough. White cars. Please do let us know in the comments. White cars, yes or no? I think we'll see a perfect differentiation between Middle Eastern audience and other audiences because white is huge here in the Middle East. Huge. Whether we're here in the UAE, whether you go to Saudi or wherever, white is huge. Anyway, coming back to the Wildtrak. Your thoughts. You've just sat in the car. We just got it a little while ago. Your initial thoughts on the interior.
I mean, interior-wise, it does feel within the segment.
Okay.
You've got probably the Hilux, either GR or Adventure Spec or whatever, which is, comparative. It's got some nice trimmed pieces and all of that.
Right.
Unfortunately, I'm probably always going to have that bias that I love the Raptor. I really love it. I got in. I don't feel these are the same seats, for example. Okay, they're nice. They're leather trim. They've got, the embossed Wildtrak logo stitched into the seats. Looks amazing. But then, comfort-wise, they don't They don't seem like the same seat.
I know this might sound silly to say this, but what is Ford offering here? They're like, you know what? You want a truck, but you also want all the world's comforts. Here you go.
Yeah, it's
right?
something you can go grocery getting with.
Exactly.
And you could do, you know, a bit of camping, off-roading, and you need to carry some stuff for work.
Exactly.
Everything. You don't feel like...
It's an all-in-one. So when it comes to the seats, I would have expected them to go down the plush route. I would have expected a bit more softness.
Like, especially on the back.
Yeah, like I feel it. Do you have lumbar support? Yeah, because I have lumbar support. So
but it's only out and in,
it's not up and down.
Up and down, which you'd again kind of, you know,
it's a lot of nitpicking happening right now, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. If you're getting this car, like it doesn't have that plush American feel, if that makes sense for people who understand that.
Because technically it's Australian, but yeah. Developed in Australia.
Fair point. So, it really is. It really is. Fair point. But moving along to the technology of it, in the Wildtrak, we've got this large display. I'm going to guess it's 12 something inches vertical. Thoroughly enjoy vertical displays.
Fantastic.
Right?
Sound system, wireless.
Sound system is Bang & Olufsen speakers.
Which I think is the same as the Raptor.
I think so too. Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Kudos, really good.
The small little things here, like there are these little gaps.
Yeah, little storage
cubbies. Another one. Loads of storage space. There's a little more space here. Wireless charger, 2 cup holders, and you've
Type A, Type C charging port.
You've got that as well. That's all really nice. The one thing I kind of hoped this car would have. And listen, I know someone's going to comment and be like, you can't do that with cars. But I would have hoped that the back cabin was a little bigger. It's the exact same size, and I know the mechanics of it, and I know how it can and can't work. But I would have liked the back cabin to be a little bigger.
Well, then there's a solution to that. You buy the F-150.
I thought you were going to say Everest, but...
Or, Everest, but then you'll use the pickup function.
Fair enough.
But yes,
there is a solution to that as well. A significant price increase, but there is a solution to that as well. So yeah, that's like my one little gripe with it, where the back still feels a little trucky, you know, very vertical, very second cabin of a truck.
Which anything within, you know,
absolutely not
light SUV.
I imagined when I saw this new shape, I imagined that the Wildtrak had a harder concentration on the comfort and city aspect. Like how the Ranger is first machine and off-road and all that, and secondary a daily car. I expected this to be the opposite. I expected this to be daily car first and off-road second. So, or functionality second. That I'm just seeing a little lesser than I expected. So I think I'm just taken aback a bit. I'm sure when I drive this car for the next few days, I'll still enjoy it and stuff like that. But yeah, man, on the overall, like really decent interior, and a very random thing, but my favorite thing, which I've enjoyed since like Yaris's from 2006.
AC vent cup holder.
When the AC vent cup holder, and the fact that it slides in and out.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Cool.
I just don't understand why more cars don't have it. You have one as well. Yeah.
Very nice.
Because like, for example, with me, I thoroughly enjoy having, so in the Jimny, we don't have cup holders. You have to get third-party ones. And I put them right in front of the AC, so it's like a little fridge for my drinks. So I love that this is here as well. All right, so we're just about to kind of reach the spot. Let's set up, let's show you the exterior of the car, and then we'll jump back in. All right, Sam, you want to take us through?
Of course, starting with the front, all new design on the front, similar to the Raptor. You've got the C-clamp LED DRLs, got a nice big chunky gloss black grille. Looks like a bit of a bash plate, but I would definitely not. Yeah, definitely not. You've got a nice recovery hook here, which is kind of cool. LED fog lights, which is also nice. If we head on to the side, you've got 18-inch alloy wheels with some all-terrain Wrangler Goodyear tires, so they look kind of aggressive. Keep in mind, from the Raptor, they're actually 17-inch with a beadlock option, Meteor profile, so that's kind of a difference there. And then side step is plastic, unfortunately. Again, with the Raptor, it's a metal side step, so that's something to keep in mind. Nice roof racks. You can obviously mount stuff on top if you want to carry stuff on the roof as well. You've got the LED indicator mounted in the side mirror. Nice, beautiful color though, right? It's kind of like a gunmetal gray.
Color's really nice.
This is what I was talking about earlier that you get on the Wildtrak edition. It is purely aesthetic and not functional. And look at this. Nice little side step if you want to get into the bed. You can just reach up, climb in. That you don't get on the Raptor edition. And then heading on to the rear, you've obviously got your Ford emblem, your Wildtrak logo on the back. You've got Ranger embossed in the tailgate. Looks really nice. You've got a third braking light mounted in the tailgate as well. Now, unfortunately not sprung loaded, but it's aluminium, so it's super light. You've also got a bed liner built in as well, which is really nice. It's not going to damage and all of that lot. You've got your inverter, 240 volt power sockets here, as long as a 12 volt socket, which is really nice. And then you might notice this has already got a tow bar. This is a very unusual scenario for any vehicle. It might have the mounting slot, but to actually have the tow bar already on, we're not sure if it comes as standard or you have to buy it separately. But we do know that the Ranger Raptor edition does not have a tow point system whatsoever. It doesn't come from Ford, and as far as we're aware, you can't even install one by them. You'd have to do it aftermarket, and it's not recommended as well. So that's really good if you want to do towing and all of those kind of things. Shall we head on to the engine bay and check out the front end?
Let's do it.
If we're looking at the engine bay, this has got a 2.3 litre 4-cylinder turbo engine, unlike the Raptor, unfortunately. Power figures to keep in mind, I think it's 207 horsepower and about 500 newton meters of torque. Torque is not actually that far off. It's like 580, 560, 580 for the Raptor and almost 400 horsepower for the Raptor. So big horsepower difference. Same 10-speed gearbox, but I mean, easy to work on. Ford's fantastic when it comes to their warranty, servicing plans. Obviously you got the motor here. Battery super easy. You've got the fuse panel as far as I'm aware, because keep in mind inside the cabin you also have those auxiliary switches. So if you buy a light bar or a winch or a fridge or anything that you want to hook up, you've got OEM factory buttons to connect to, which is really, really cool. Actually, I lie. I know it from another video. There's wiring loom that you can tap into that I've seen. Another awesome feature that Ford has actually done is the manual is built into the head unit. So you want to go and wire that up. There's no faffing to go grab this big fat manual. You can just jump inside, look at the infotainment system, pull up the manual, find out exactly what you need, which is an awesome thing. I think all manufacturers should start doing that. So cool. Shall we take it for a little tune?
Let's
test
go.
Drive?
Let's go.
So we've had a look at the exterior.
Right.
Drive-wise, what were your initial thoughts?
So my initial thoughts were, the first thing instantaneously I felt was, and you can obviously explain this a bit better, but I feel the turbo has a bit of the acceleration has a bit of a lag.
Okay.
I expected that to be a little smoother, but on the overall power seems good. We're right now at 100 plus kilometers per hour. Car's okay smooth, a little bouncy. Now, explain to me two things. One, why is it a little bouncy? And why would they not put highway tires on this car?
I think this is sort of the dilemma Ford is in, right?
Okay.
So the Wildtrak is based off, we'll just call it the regular Ranger.
Yes.
Okay, so that's on leaf springs because it's a workhorse. You can load it up. That's where leaf springs, are their forte.
Right.
And then you've added these tech items and the plushness and all of that. Then when it comes to, say, the tire standpoint, people want something to look, more aggressive. So while the all-terrains are probably not as great for fuel economy and noise and things like that, it's a compromise. Most brands are doing that. Whereas the Raptor edition, that's got its Fox 3.0, infinite adjustable, all of that stuff going on. And by having coilovers in the rear as well, that changes the whole ride characteristic. It's not bouncy because it's not leaf, and now it's unladen. We don't have anything in the back
Right.
to kind of leafs don't perform unless
There's
loaded.
some weight at the back.
There needs to be some
Right.
weight.
Okay. So basically, if you're considering buying the Wildtrak, consider buying some sandbags as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like 50 to 100 kilo sandbags should do the job. Yeah.
Perfect.
Fair enough. Okay. Cool. That kind of makes sense to me as well.
And the other thing that you were talking about throttle-wise.
Yes.
So obviously, again, the Raptor's got a little bit more power to it, so it'll probably be tuned more aggressively.
Right.
So that's why you probably didn't notice the throttle being as, laggy,
Fair.
quote unquote.
Fair.
Again, it's probably a calibration thing. You want fuel economy, we can whack it into, sports mode.
Right.
And then it'll, drop a few gears and all of that, and it'll
Fair
be more
enough.
performance
Fair enough.
oriented.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think that's
No paddle shifters as
no
well?
paddle shifters.
No
No paddle
paddles?
shifters. Yeah, they removed those for sure. And as far as mode goes, of course, we don't have Baja mode over here.
So how do I manually control? No, the gears. Like I'm off-road and I want to hold
here,
the gear.
there's the buttons on the side of the gear.
Oh, it's on the side
Yeah,
of the gear.
the buttons on the side of the gear.
My bad.
Yeah. So this is standard on Fords now.
Right.
So yeah, not the most ideal scenario, but
Yes.
still works out.
Because the fact that the gear shifter doesn't have like that definitive,
Right.
you're pushing a button
Right.
to change and all of that,
But-
you could easily just knock it.
Like I said, it comes down
Oh,
to
no,
the
you
audience.
can't. It's locked.
It's locked. It's locked. It's locked.
Okay.
So the thing is, I think it comes back to the audience conversation in terms of the fact that you have to look at this from the perspective that the audience doesn't want the paddle shifters or whatever. The Wildtrak audience is not looking at that.
Yeah.
Because someone who's looking at the Wildtrak is literally going, fair enough, I don't need this.
And I'm presuming that price-wise, it's
Right.
going to be a considerable difference as well.
It is.
So
It is. It
It's also
definitely.
something to factor in.
Fair enough.
I mean, you could buy a handbag or a used handbag,
God.
or
For people who don't understand that reference, Sam just learned what Birkins are. So
and if you didn't know, it's some sub-brand of Hermes handbags. So do you want a used handbag, or would you want a Ranger Raptor?
yes, and the prices are comparable.
Yes. New Ranger Raptor, used handbag.
All right, fair enough. So we have discussed everything we can about this car. I'm sure there's many more things, and if we missed out on something, do let us know in the comments. Before we go any further, if you do like what we are producing, we have a small little channel, and we'd really appreciate if you could support with likes and shares and subscribes and comments and so on and so forth. Of course, because this is a young small channel, we absolutely would appreciate your feedback on any content we're coming out with as well. All right, Sam, last leg of this review.
Yes.
Let's come to pricing. What are we looking at with this car?
I think we're looking at around 180,000 dirhams.
Okay.
It's probably a little bit more. You can
Little bit
wrangle
less
a bit,
depending on the offer and all
offer
that
and
stuff,
discounts and whatnot.
Because I think the issue that's coming up is that 180,000 is also the offer price with service contract, warranty for 100,000 kilometers, and a few wiggles here and there. So I think you can find this car in the 160, 170 range if it didn't have all these extras. I think so. That being said, the Ranger Raptor, if I remember correctly, was 250,000 plus,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. It was like
And-
259.
And the base Ranger is 103,000 starting.
Okay.
So with the extra amenities and warranties and so on, let's assume in the 120 range. So we're basically smack in the middle of that entire spectrum. What do you think?
I think it's great value from
Yeah?
it.
You think
I
so?
mean, you're getting the service contract. I've only ever heard good things
Right.
from Altair as a dealer for
Yes.
warranty, servicing.
I can
all of
swear
that.
by that. We've had 4 Fords in our household in the past about 15 years. Never have we complained. And even right now, my dad's bought a Lincoln Corsair, which we also getting for review soon. Great offer, great value for money. So I can swear by that
Yeah.
that part. But as a truck,
I think especially what most people, it's pertinent to this region, is the fact that the new one comes with a petrol engine.
Right. Yes. Yes.
So that's something that if you're in Australia, you want diesel.
Right.
But diesel prices is more expensive here. Yes, you do get more range.
Yes.
But you know, for filling up and all of those kind of things, petrol is more convenient.
Yeah. So just for viewers who like aren't from here, we're in the UAE, and in general, as Sam said, diesel, it's not like it's not available. It's just that it's
more so commercial vehicles that are diesel.
Exactly. Like you don't see daily drivers here, regular cars. Like there are so many Mercedes, there are so many Toyotas, there are so many Fords that are diesel in many parts of the world. They just don't come here. Yeah. That being said, this was diesel all along, and I think because I saw it on the website, I think the diesel version is still available.
Oh,
I think. But point basically was that yes, this is the first time the Ranger is all in all petrol.
Yes.
So 2.3 liter EcoBoost is available here for the first time, which is awesome.
So yeah, I mean, like we already mentioned, diesel obviously going to be more fuel economy.
Right.
Great, but you've got more expensive maintenance as a long haul. Like injectors are way more expensive. You have DPS from an environmental standpoint to clean. Those are all things that you don't think. So cost of ownership for the petrol should be cheaper, but you're gonna spend a bit more on petrol. So it's swings and roundabouts. I like it. I like petrol. Petrol's more horsepower orientated, less torquey. So yeah. Coming back to what you said, good value for money.
Okay.
Does it make sense? 100%. I like it.
I agree. I think it is a very utility-focused, comfortable vehicle. I do think the seats are a bit quote-unquote questionable, but apart from that, everything else, you know me, I'm a functionality.
And we found out why, because these are 8-way adjustable.
Ah, right, we did find out.
Where the Raptor ones are 10-way adjustable. So they are different seats.
Fair enough. So yeah, on the overall, I think a really good car. I think if you can find it just a little cheaper with the service and everything, which is really possible here in the UAE, I think this is a very, very worthy purchase.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, so what do you guys think about the Ford Ranger Wildtrak? Let us know in the comments. As I said, if we've missed out anything or you'd like us to find out something about the car for you, do let us know. But apart from that, this is Sam. My name is Danesh. Thank you very much for watching.